Seems our regime has plummeted south. Don't need to scream if you ain't got the mouth. Why bite the hand that feeds when it's the only hand you're getting? It's time to see that this great marquee is the only place you're ever gonna be. So strap on in and take it on the chin, and don't forget who's running the show. No, but he genuinely just got it back like that. See, I busted out the old laptop, so the audio's probably fine now, but now I gotta go back to the shit laptop. Fuck my life. And voila, just like that, we're back. Wonderland, I hope you enjoyed that performance as well as everyone else. I had to bust out the old laptop because I don't sing because I don't like the way it sounds on here. But oh well, enough dilly-dallying. Thanks to Wonderland for the suggestion, but thanks to OmniJuice for the inclusation of me in Tomodachi 8. He kind of look like me though. Why does he look like me? I don't know, bruh. Thank you for the new interior. It is very nice. I like it. Arigato, bruh. Yo, peace and harmony to you, homie. Peace and harmony. But today, as you can see, we've got a lot of shit about Deltarune. Today we're doing Deltarune. And, of course, follow the TikTok. But a little thing about Deltarune. A lot of the characters' ages aren't, like, specifically said. So if there is an official age for any of the characters and they get it wrong, and some of the points just don't make sense because the age isn't what I'm saying it is, by all means drop it in the comment section. But it is, the general consensus is that the main cast of Deltarune are under the age of 18 as they all go to school, some sort of school, like high school or whatnot. And as you can see, I've got all of these different things. I've got fucking the wiki, then I've got Google, then I've got Reddit, then I've got more Google. It is just a lot. But take us to the videos, big boy. Aha, we have a classic from a lot of these communities. And, yeah, just dark ship and suggestive lyrics. So, I wonder what the lyrics say, and I wonder who it is. I mean, I know it says here, like, Chris, but, and it says Tenor, but I don't know who that is. I'll have to look that guy up after. So it's Chris x Tenor. How? Okay, so let's start with Chris, because I've got his age here. So, as you can see, if Chris is in the age range of GCSE, then that is the equivalent of year 9 to year 11, which would make them 13 to 16. So, okay, so let's run with that, 13 to 16. And then a lot of people are saying, like, they're 13, and then someone said, Bro's at least 4. Hey, we at least know he's 4. So, shout out to Scary Looking Hobo, because, you know, we wouldn't have known this without Bro. But, of course, so let's say 13 to 16 within that range. So, let's say 16. Let's just say 16. Whatever. If they're saying he's in year 9 to year 11, that's about like 15 to 16. But we'll run with that. How old is Tenor now? Okay, then. So, there's this Reddit thread here where it says he's 22 to 82. So, he's an adult. It doesn't matter his overall age. He is an adult. You know, pushing 90, I guess, here then. He's pushing 90. He's old. So, he is very, very old. And, well, how old is Chris again? 16. So, why are we shipping them? And, of course, as always, the comments, actually, I say as always, but they're not on their side. Now, why would you post this? Oh, okay, I favorited to my video ideas, and then I saw the warning. I'm not supposed to be here. Wait, I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit stupid, so, you know, stupid. I don't know what that means. That is not reading well to me. Ugh, they're so cute. Yes, you heard it first here, boys. Well, you've not heard it first. You hear it in, like, every video. But, this 16-year-old, now I do know. They're, like, gender neutral, gender fluid, something like that. Or, like, what's it called? Non-binary? Something. But they're neither male or female, and it's quite ambiguous, I guess, is what I was able to find about Chris's gender. So, this kid and this adult, they're so cute. Like, how do you process this information? Because to me, it seems like, whoa. Because to me, this seems like you're not thinking, or I like to give benefit of the doubt. I don't genuinely want to believe that these people are sitting here knowingly going, yes, I know Chris is a kid, and I know Tenor is an adult, and a TV at that. Like, let's not go into the entirely different argument of kind of shipping sentient objects with humans, but oh well. Is Chris a human? Okay, let's not go into that argument. But are these people genuinely thinking? Because I don't want to, as I was saying, I don't want to believe that they're sitting there thinking, wow, I know Chris is a human, I know Tenor is an adult, but man, they're still so cute together. It doesn't matter because it's a video game. It doesn't matter because I like this video game and I like this chip. You know what I mean? A lot of people say that these fandoms have kind of been infiltrated, but it doesn't necessarily matter. If they are a fan of the product and they consume the overall product, then they go online and then talk about it or ship and do stuff, they are in the fandom. You can't say they're not in the fandom. If they played the game, even if they didn't necessarily like it, you don't have to like something to go into the wider community, into the fandom and talk about it with people. You don't have to be in the fandom. I mean, you can say you're not associated with it, but they are still interacting in the fandom. So people saying that they're maybe grifters, well, yes, that may be true. There probably is a lot of people that I've looked at that aren't fans of this medium or this show or whatever it is, and they've only come here to just kind of shitpost about it or, make it seem worse than it is, and maybe I'm looking at grifters. But that doesn't change the fact that there are still people commenting on these videos being like, oh, they're so cute, oh, I can't believe this is great, you know what I mean? So, well, yes, the video itself may be a joke if that's the case. Even if it's a joke, it's still a weird joke to make. You don't chill with your homies and then your homies are talking about, damn, imagine your younger sister with I don't know, your father or some shit like that. That's just, if it won't be considered a joke there, it should not be considered a joke here. That was more of a Elizabeth Afton x William Afton kind of reference instead of to this specific video. But still, it's not a joke. If we don't consider that a joke, then we don't consider this a joke. Because you don't just walk around going, damn, this 16-year-old girl would look really nice with this, I don't know, fucking hench, fucking buff dude looking like Wilson Fisk. You know what I mean? We don't do that. In comics, yes, although it's not real, but there's still the fact that people can see this and then people can, you know what I mean? You are shipping a child with an adult at the end of the day. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's real or not. You could always take that, or you could be affirming someone's ideas. Someone right now could be watching this and being like, so it seems there are people like me, and they could go out into the world and do real harm. While this may be not doing harm physically, maybe psychologically, mentally on my mental health, it still could be affirming someone that may have these ideals, and that's not good. You should never affirm people like that, which is why I say, if you know any younger siblings, yapping.
What's your favorite dog breed?
Darkship. What does this mean? Trigger warning. Minor ex-adult. Request for okay. Don't like equals scroll. Guys, well, they're absolved of anything since I don't like this from literally the fucking pause screen that I'm on. Minor ex-adult. I really don't like this. I gotta scroll. And if I don't scroll, it's all my fault now. But don't worry, guys. I'll tough through the storm for you guys. Oh, wait. Okay, so Chris, Drimka, okay, whatever that means. They, them, 16 years old, non-binary, asexual, OCD. Okay. Crowvin. Oh, shit. Wait, who's this? Oh, Alvin Boom. He, him, 50 years old. Cis male, bisexual, map. When I first was doing these videos, I didn't know what map meant. I genuinely just thought it was man of the match or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Well, I guess that means an acronym, but it is an acronym, and the acronym stands for minor attracted person. Now, I don't think I need to go into why this is bad, but yes, I do have to go into why it's bad. You know, I'm not a content thief like Sniper Wolf. I will give my opinion and how I feel about this video. Okay, so first of all, Alvin Boom. He, him, 50 years old. 50 years old. Okay, so you have yourself stated that Chris, even though it's ambiguous and, you know, there are many different answers out there, you know, you could have said that, you could have said, hello, can we move? You said Chris, you could have said Chris is an adult. You could have aged them up and, you know, since there is, like, actually not really a confirmed age, I would have still called it weird because the general consensus is, like, the fandom kind of believes that Chris is 16, most certainly under 18. You could have put it up there and I would have, like, had a harder time attacking this. You made my job easier. You've said they're 16 and you shipped them with a 50-year-old guy. If we can get back to that, please. A 50-year-old guy. Why? Again, what goes through these people's heads? Do they play the game? Do they scroll the subreddits and forums literally looking for characters to ship? If so, that sounds like a very abysmal life. Again, why? You could have shipped Alvin with another adult, you know, but no, you decided to go for Chris. I don't know how they interact in the game, but I can probably say that it's not in a sexual or even romantic way. You know what I mean? Again, why? And, of course, as always, I can't chat about the specific person that makes these videos. I can never talk about the person that is making these videos. I can only make inferences and sort of assumptions. And there's always one thing I like to say. I don't know whether this is a child doing this for other children or if this is an adult doing this for children. Now, adult doing this for children is very diabolical, very evil. There could be many reasons they are doing this, and I'll drop a reason here. A game theory, they could be doing it to try and infiltrate these spaces. Now, there are probably children that like this ship. Whatever. It's a weird ship. You're shipping a 16-year-old with a 50-year-old man. That is weird. No matter how you spin it, that is weird. So, there are probably people out there that like this. Maybe children. Maybe there's a dedicated Discord server. And maybe the man uploading this, he could have, because there's 18 likes, so there's people that like this. Maybe those people could have scrolled onto here, and I'm not talking about this person specifically, but I'm talking about a game theory on why people may do this sort of stuff. They then send it to these people and go, look, I'm like you guys. Can you let me in? Maybe they ask an age, and he goes, oh, no, like, I'm a young'un, just like you guys. And, you know, they can't really confirm or deny if it's true. So they let him in. Bang. He's in there. Now he's, you know, in there doing his little nastiness. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And that could be the case. Maybe a very small percentage, a very small chance of that happening, but a chance nonetheless. There are so many... There is only so many reasons to why a person would do this, if not as a joke. And again, if it's a joke, it's just not funny. It's just not funny. It's never going to be funny. You know what I mean? It's never going to be funny shipping a 50-year-old with a 16-year-old or just a child with an adult. It's just never going to be funny. You're always going to be perceived as bad and a very weird person, which I don't necessarily agree with. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with. You are very weird for shipping a child, and you know what I mean? Oh, more Chris X Tenor. I mean, I don't know if this is a ship. This doesn't look like a ship. It looks like they're fighting, but, you know, maybe the more has something. Oh, okay. Dark shipping. You've snitched on yourself here. You've snitched on yourself. I didn't know this was a ship. I won't lie, just watching the video, I didn't know this was a ship. And maybe the people stumbling across this edit don't know it's a ship. But the fact you've put dark shipping here, and then Chris Tenor, it's kind of making me think that, well, not even think, you have told me it's a dark ship. So me now saying that it's a dark ship and analyzing it like a dark ship is not wrong because you've fully said yourself it's a dark ship. Why? There was nothing even inherently sexual or romantic about this video. Unless you like the idea of maybe violence in romance. You know what I mean? Like this. You know what I mean? Very weird. Very weird. Now, you're shipping a child with an adult. Again, it's very weird as well when looking through these sort of thingies. So now this is twice we've seen this. So this is a real ship, I guess. Because some people could just be making up the most diabolical ships. Like, there was one I looked at where it was like, this character from a different game or show, and it was shipped with like the fossil lady, the Cuphead lady from what's it called, Dandy's one. You can just tell that's a ship. It's just ridiculous. Someone like me who isn't in these fandoms, who don't play these sorts of games, maybe I will when I start streaming. If you want me to play them, hey, drop a comment. Hey, check the stream. It's coming soon. But I don't play these sorts of games. I don't interact with the fandom besides these videos I make. So I'm instantly going to go in with a very cynical mind. But people who are just scrolling and may get this on their For You page, God rest their soul. I would say that, and God rest their soul, would be like they died. I would say that, but I don't know how this would get onto your For You page if you're not already liking and subscribing to the idea of this. Maybe by some freak accident, it could just accidentally get pushed into your thing. That's a very possible chance. But just at the same time, there's also the chance that the people that may have seen this are interacting with this in some form of way. Maybe it's not even Chris X Tenor. Maybe they're going for, I don't know, some other characters that are like child or minor attracted person. Very weird label to put on a character, by the way. These people just make themselves look so bad, and then they get really like defensive when you call them weird or their fandom weird. They're like, huh? What? You think our fandom is weird? Bah humbug. You just don't like the shipping culture, or what's it called? The fandom culture. It's just like, well, I don't necessarily dislike the fandom culture. It's the fact that people like this are shipping children ex-adults. I'm always going to ask the question of why. What do you stand to gain from this? Affirmation, because you shouldn't be affirmed. But then again, the people watching this are being affirmed if they do subscribe to this idea. 130 likes, 39 favorites. People are watching this and are going, hey, I agree with this. So, there's a market there. And again, there could be the fact that this person is doing it as a joke, trying to tap into this audience. But it's not that famous, so it's like, I don't want to say it's a joke, because it's not even that famous. Why would you even make this joke? You make yourself look bad and you don't actually get anything from it. Why? Careful there, this video is unsafe. Chris X Azriel. Okay, that's a new character, Azriel. Do I have that here? Nope. Okay, so I just checked who Azriel is, and well, let's just go here. It says adopted younger sibling. Now that's different from, a step sibling. I'm saying pretty sure, but I know that it's different from a step sibling. So they're shipping brothers now. So it's not stepsister. What would it even be? So, I looked it up and I came up with an answer. It's called, or the non-professional term is called sibcest. So maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. Hey, so now we're just resorting to sibcest, okay. Sexual assault, self-harm, ED, what's erectile dysfunction? Manipulation. I don't know what that says. That actually just looks like they spammed words on a keyboard. Abuse, grooming, Chris being the abuser. This is a vent. Although being a pro ship account, this is a way to vent my feelings. You have been warned. Okay, so they're feelings. Intro. Hi everyone, I'm Ivory. I make a lot of these edits and stuff to keep up my mental health. Not venting for a while kind of lowers my stability. And I want to start posting them. Okay then. Hey Ivory, it's your boy Kage. I'm sorry. This isn't a way to, this shouldn't be a way of you, I'm acting like I'm talking to this person specifically. If I am, hello Ivory. If I'm not, then, to just the viewers out there, this isn't okay. You shouldn't go into a fandom, a place where you feel safe or feel accepted, and then start doing this. Even if you don't feel accepted here, you shouldn't do this sort of stuff. It's not going to help. It's maybe a temporary solution, but it's not a permanent one, and it's not a long-lasting thingy, as we can tell, because you literally said that your stability lowers when you don't do this sort of stuff. Of course, this is 2025, the 12th of the 18th, so this is a while ago. Maybe they've gotten help since then, but if you're watching this now and you maybe still do this sort of stuff, please, get help. Seek professional help. This isn't going to help. And to people out there that may do this sort of stuff, maybe they're watching this, maybe other people that I've looked at in this video are watching, it is not going to help. Asriel, he, straight, victim. Okay, so now we got gender swapping. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to Guess the Flag with Gay. What is this? Bro, this is like LGBT. This kind of looks like the Assassin's Creed thing. Yeah, this shit looks like the Assassin's Creed logo. Just like gayified. And then what's the black and white lines? I'm pretty sure it's like, I remember describing it as dream sexual without the colors. And I have no idea what this one is. The one with hey, yo, this star thing is a pretty cute flag. Bro, there's so many flags. Sensory overload. Oh wait, I forgot. Victim. Oh, Chris, they, them, bisexual, abuser. So, okay, I'm gonna game theory. And if I'm wrong, correct me, Ivory. This person, it seems, may have been abused in a sort of similar context to what they're doing. Again, seems. This is all speculation. I can't talk to the personal character. Of course, they dropped a little bit of lore behind there, so I read that. But why else would you need to vent in this specific way if you had not suffered from this sort of... if you had suffered from this, it's genuinely awful. But yeah, why would you need to vent in this specific sort of way, uploading a dark ship about two siblings, one of them being a victim? Again, you've also changed the gender of one of them. So, you know what I mean? Or not the gender, the pronouns. So why else would you need to do this sort of ship if you had not suffered from something that kind of relates to this? Again, this is this says dark ship safe space. Bro, this kid just told me that they may have added Balloon Tower Defense 6 into Fortnite. Calling it now, lies. But yeah, you said dark shipping safe space. I will never ever agree with that. Dark shipping should never ever have a place on the internet. Never, ever, ever. Not as a form of venting, not as a form of, you know, maybe connecting. Nope. Dark shipping should be eradicated. You are taking a child, someone vulnerable, and, well, I'm pretty sure, are they two siblings? I mean, two children? I don't know. So it says 10 to 15 when he died. I don't know how this game works, so I don't know if he stayed 10 to 15 forever. Like, time just doesn't move in the Deltarune universe. But let's just say it's kind of described that he's an older brother, I believe. So now you're just making one sibling attack another. Again, maybe this has happened to you. I don't want to like throw out negativity out there, but that may be what the case is. Okay, maybe I need to move on from this point because I'm getting a little bit too deep into it. Point of the matter is, do not use dark ship to vent. It won't help. It will not help. And if it does help now, it won't help later in life. You can't keep shipping children and siblings together. It isn't healthy. You think it's healthy, but you're just poisoning your brain with another thing that's bad. Maybe you're trying to cope with something bad that happens, but replacing something bad with something that's bad is not going to help. So that main point, let's get it over with. I probably deleted all the rest. So we got Ralsei. How old is Ralsei? Okay, general consensus in the Discord. I mean Reddit. 13 to 16, so a child.
¿Por qué eres tan esponjoso, Ralsei?
¿Por qué estás tan calvo, Ralsei?
Wait, so did they gender... So is this like female Ralsei? Wait, I need to watch that again.
¿Por qué eres tan esponjoso, Ralsei?
Why are you so fluffy, Ralsei?
¿Por qué estás tan calvo?
Ralsei. So they've just gender bended them and put them in relatively like promiscuous clothing. What the fuck is this image? What on God's green earth? This is a dude, by the way. So they've femboyicized a kid and then gender swapped him to her to make them interact. Very, very weird. Sexualizing children. Of course, I can't say that that's specifically what this is. It just kind of seems like that from first glance. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. It just kind of seems from a first check that it seems very sexualized. Like, you know, the clothing, I'm sorry, but I did not see Ralsei wearing this in Deltarune. And I most certainly did not see him with a female counterpart. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So it's very weird. So this person who's just drew this art, animated it, got voice actors for a kid who has been femboyicized, so sexualized. Well, I believe this is sexualization. As you can see, this is a small, like, crop top. This person's in a bra and panties, or a sports bra. Well, it's still a bra and panties. Like, it's a kid, after all, even if you swap the gender over it. And now it's just a young female instead of a young boy, which is very weird. I don't think you should be gender swapping, you know, kids, especially in the context that which you have it, where it's that the boy is interacting with the girl, where it's like, why are you so fluffy? Why are you so bold? You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird. Deltarune headcanons. Fuck. Whoa. Okay. Wait. Okay, so I was going to say, I've been recording for 30 minutes, but let's go back onto that. Deltarune headcanons. Can we move? Okay, there we go. When he ends his game show, he grapes Spamton in the back room. Okay? Secretly jerks off to Lancer. Now, Lancer, how old is Lancer? Around 6 to 8 years old. That seems to be the thingy. Lancer being 9 or 10. So let's say he's 8, because that's what it says here. Then they're saying 9. So let's just meet in the middle and say 8 to 9. So he's 8. Oh, he's 8 to 9. So this guy, who I don't know who this is. I actually don't know who this is. So, okay, so it looks like Susie. So Susie around 16 to 17. So a teen gooning to well, jerking off, I should say, to a prepubescent kid. Weird. Now you're having kids jerking off to other kids in the game, whatever. Praise King. Tenor. So I know this character now, Tenor. The game isn't over. You get it. When he ends the game show, he has unconsensual sex with Spamton in the back room. Why? Why do you need to impart that on this game, on this series? Why? If you like your non-con, then so be it. But why are you putting this in a space with children? And I'm saying children because I don't see, again, a lot of people could play the game. You know, maybe there's a wide different audience, a wide age range. But to me, it seems like a lot of children interact with the fandom, rather than I see a lot of, like, I had a cousin, he likes Undertale and Deltarune, as well as FNF, which is why I talk from experience. So I know that he likes these sorts of things. Well, not these sorts of things. I know he likes the game and the, you know, whatnot, and he uses the internet to go and watch content. So he could stumble across this. So I know that there are children here. Even if it's a small number, you're still putting very weird things in a children-inhabited space. And the game being fit for children to play as well. Now, if it was like TF2, where it's for 18 plus with its violence and gore and whatnot, but there's children in the fandom, I've got to put a fault to the parents there. You have to stop your children from going into these spaces. But this is okay for children to play. So there should be a more concerted effort to stop this. Or not even a concerted effort to stop this. There should be more thought on posting this. And if you did genuinely think on this and you still posted it, crazy. Now, I don't know if this is a joke, because they went from absolutely crazy takes, crazy headcanons, to just some random weird shit like dude watches Barney. Like, it's mind-boggling. So I have no way to discern what the meaning of the video is, but it's still weird nonetheless. Okay then, with that all being said, 35 minutes, I have no idea how long this video is. I don't know if this is longer than usual, but if it is, sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed. So, Anya say with me now, Anya, see you later, Anya say hub.